Hi everybody, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. Let's make some Christmas tags. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to attempt to make some Christmas tags in a little bit of different style than what I not a different style, that would be saying it wrong. A different kind of construction than what I've done before, and I have this idea in my head and I hope it's going to work, and we'll find out. It could be really good or it could be a disaster. So, I've just gone through my papers and picked out a couple of images that I'm going to use. And the first one is this little bird sitting on the fence. And this is, who is this paper? Ciao Bella, I think, is who it is. I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but I think that's who that is. And so I want to try this little bird. And for my base, all I did was take a manila heavy cardstock tag, and I took the reinforcer off. And then I'll replace it when I'm done. And I'm doing this to kind of save a little bit of time so I have a nice sturdy base to work with, and then I don't have to worry about cutting all that out and whatever. So I just grabbed one. And the first thing that I want to do is pick a paper that will be what is on the outside of my tag. And I've got all my Christmas papers over here to the side. And I think I want something with a green in it, but that one's not tall enough. Let's see. Like I said, this is just something that I thought I'd like to try, and I have no clue how it's gonna. Oh, I like that. The music on the back. Yeah, I think I can do that. Okay, so we're gonna use this, and I'm gonna just trace it. I'm gonna lose something there. I'm gonna lose it down here on this corner. And I'm just gonna trace the tag as soon as I find my pencil. There it is. And I'm going to cut that out and glue it to the base. And like I said, I'm just using that base because it just saves me time of having to double up a couple of pieces of regular paper or whatever. And this is not real heavy cardstock, this paper isn't, and so it would have to be sturdied with something anyway. And so I just grabbed a tag that was already pre-made. Just a time saver if you wanted to do it with a book page or whatever, and then you know, cut it, glue it and cut it, that's fine as well. I didn't do a very good job cutting that, but we will straighten it up. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to take my hole punch, and I was trying to see a size. I want to say that it's a 2-inch, but yeah, 2-inch hole punch. And I'm going to punch a hole in the top layer I'm going to go in from the side and see if I can get it. It's not going to be directly in the center because this is too wide to get it directly in the center. But am I okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that, I think. The reason I'm saying I'm thinking I may not be is because of, actually, you know what? No, it's not going to do me any good. Sorry, I'm going to be talking kind of crazy until I figure this out. So, probably half of what I say you can ignore. Yeah, that's going to be all right. So, I'm going to poke a hole. And this is what I have, okay? And anybody who knows, and actually, yeah, I do like that being off-centered. But anybody who knows me and who has been following my work knows that that hole is way too neat for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rip it. And I'm just going to follow the circle that I punched, and I'm going to tear around it. And I'm going to make it just as jagged as I possibly can. That's why I was concerned about this piece being so narrow. I'll just have to be real careful when I get over to there. But I'm going to roll it up, and I'm going to grunge it up. And all that kind of good stuff. Because if it ain't grungy, it ain't good. And I say that, and I don't totally work in grunge, but most of the time I do. I really do prefer the vintage, kind of grungy looking thing going on. Hope everybody has had a good week so far. We survived Monday, so that's an accomplishment in its own. I'm probably going to have a guest for my video this weekend. I have my grandkids. They're coming to stay, spend the night. So Mom and Dad can have a night out. And my granddaughter loves to craft, so may have a guest on our video. And you know, I don't even care if it's even worse than that. The main thing you want to do is just try not to rip through your narrow side over there. Get it as close as you can without ripping through it so it doesn't look so odd. Okay, so there's our hole. And of course the next thing we want to do is ink it up. Give it some more grunge. It makes it kind of hard after you put that hole in it, especially when the paper's not very stiff to begin with, but we'll make it work. I'll have ink all over me by the time we get done, but that's nothing unusual. Okay, now let's see if this is going to be too small. It might be too small now that I've made that. Let's see. This one I think is even smaller, although that one has can't move it that way. Alright, that will work if I can find another. Okay, so let's do this. Let's cut out the bird and the fence. So we have that. Okay. And then we're going to use part of this one to get our snow and our trees. And if that was just a tad bit taller, on the back of this. You know what? I think what I'm going to do, guys, since I'm having to do that anyway, I think I'm just going to trace this and make my tag out of putting these two pieces together. So I'm kind of doing exactly what I thought I was going to be able to save myself from doing. But that's okay. Sometimes that's the way things work out. Okay, sweep that up. Because this is still wide enough to write on the back, so I'm fine with that being the back of the whole tag. Okay, and so now we have our trees and our stuff in the background, and then our bird is gonna sit on the fence right there, like so. Don't move, little bird. Alright, so I'm gonna glue that down. Hopefully without moving it. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Stabilo All pencil. If I can find it buried under my Christmas paper that I have stacked up there. That's the blue one. We don't want the blue one. Okay. And I'm also getting my water brush. And I'm just going to put just a tad of this along the bird here. And then I'm going to take my water brush and fade that out. And all that's doing, and this will not be this dark when it dries, is kind of bringing out the bird so that it stands out a little bit from the background. Creates just a little bit of a shadow around the bird. And you can make that just as light or dark as you'd like it, and just kind of make it fade out into the rest of the page. Sorry if I had that where you couldn't see. Okay, and the other thing that I want to do is work on our snow, and I forgot to bring my paint over here, so I'm gonna grab it real quick. I'm not gonna turn it off, I'm just gonna walk away for just a second. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this picket fence and I'm going to just make some splatters, and I don't have a good splatter brush over here either, so we're going to make do with what we have. So I'm just going to put some of this down on the mat, on my glass mat over here. Let me get some of this out of the way so you can see what's going on. We'll save that circle for something else. And I'll use some water out of my water brush because my squirt bottle is also not over here. I'm just watering down that paint, and I'm gonna get a scrap piece of paper to put under this, and I'm gonna get another little scrap to kind of put on the bird's face because I don't want his face to get splatters on it. Okay, and then we're going to, whoops, make a mess. No, okay, we're good. We're just gonna kind of put some little splatters on here that will look like have more dimension than just the ones that are printed on the paper. I'll really need a bigger brush to do this with. But you get the point. Okay, and I'm sure you cannot see that at all, but there are little splatters on there. Now what we're going to do, after I clean that mess up, is we're going to take, this is Tim Holtz Distress Grip Paste, and we're going to take some of that, not on my glass mat, and this actually works better with a putty knife or a paint knife, and we're going to put it, and I'm not going to be able to do it with that brush. Let me try this. We'll do it with the we're going to put it where the snow is on the fence. Not a lot, just enough to kind of give it some dimension. Okay, and we'll be using this again in a minute. And then we're going to add our top piece, and I'm all right with doing that because the hole is where I just put that grit paste, so it's not going to hurt it. And I'm going to use art glitter glue to do that. Get this little piece of grit right there. Sure everything's good and lined up. I still don't know that this paper's going to be thick enough. It's really thin paper. I may end up putting it on that tag after all. We'll see after it dries, but right now it seems kind of flimsy to me. If you all have bought any of my tags, you know that I prefer them to be pretty stout. Okay, make sure that's all good and stuck down. Trim it up. Because no matter how hard I try, I never get anything on there quite straight. And I think I am gonna go ahead and put that other tag on there because it's just not sturdy enough for me. because by the time I get all the layers and everything on it, it's going to be flopping, and that's not acceptable. I'm just evening it up. Okay, so now we'll put our pin and our glue, first of all. We'll poke a hole. Put a new reinforcer on there. And now we can embellish. So I'm going to take this again, and right down here at the bottom, I'm going to make, I'm going to put some snow, like it's sitting on the edge of that tear. And when I say snow, I mean grit paste. So I'm just going to rub it along here. Use my fingers a little bit. Just to kind of give it the impression that there's snow, you know, kind of building up on that little ledge where the paper's torn. Okay. And I know that's probably a little hard to see, but I'll take some pictures and post them at the end, and that might make it easier for you to see that. that's that part. Now we need to figure out what we want to use to embellish the page. Got these kind of flowers on here that look like, or they're pine cone flowers, I guess. They're made out of, or they're made to look like they're out of little, whatever you would call that on a pine cone. Okay, that's a start. And let's see. These are all my little, I dug out all my Christmas stuff. Separated it all out so we can have everything ready to go. It's a possibility. I wouldn't mind something red either, because the bird's got a little bit of red on him. Sorry if you can't see that, I'm just digging through this little box. This is mostly Tim Holtz Christmas little stuff. Might like that better than the pine cone, actually. Oh, I do have some of those little poinsettias, I think. So it's the season of good cheer. Like that. Alright. There's a couple things. Let me see what's in my other one over here. A little stamp. I like that. And special delivery. Whoops. Throwing stuff on the floor. And kind of like that. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm just pulling out stuff that I think will work, and then we'll determine. Here's my other little. These are the bigger pieces, so they're probably all too big. But I'm gonna flip through them real quick. Let's see if I see anything that I could use maybe a part of or something like that. Okay, I don't see anything in there. And then I do have just a regular poinsettia. If we wanted to use that instead of this. Okay, so if I do that, you're not going to be able to see it. Alright, so I think I want a piece of some kind of book text to go with that. I'm reaching over into my little scrap bin where I keep all my scrapbook text and stuff like that. Laying some of this out. What did I do with... Oh, I see it. It's like, what did I do with that? This. I think I want some of that too. All right. Sorry, I got quiet. I'm concentrating. Trying to think 3 steps ahead here, and I just need to worry about what I'm doing at the moment. And I'm just basically creating just a little collage here at the bottom to kind of highlight the tag. And bend that back down. My grip paste is still wet a little bit. All right, and this I'm gonna put it across the top there. I have no idea where this came from. It looks like I peeled it off something, but I have no idea what. Just tore it in half, is what I did. That was a really doofus thing to do. All right, let's take that off before it ruins everything. Okay, so that didn't work well. Oh, it could have been one of these, actually, but it didn't feel like the back was on it. So maybe that was the problem. This is Tim Holtz as well. It's his little Christmas ideology sticker book. I was trying to find something about snow other than let it snow. Oh look, this one says a little winter bird. We'll use that. So that's the idea. And thanks for hanging with me through that ordeal. I like it. It's still very wet where I glued both of those together in the grits paste. The only other thing that I'll probably do to this, and I'll take a picture and post it at the end, is I might do a little bit of stamping on it, maybe with some script stamp or something like that. And I think I may do a little bit of glitter, just a tad. And when I say glitter, I mean Tim Holtz's glitter. That's, you know, just clear, just to give it a little bit of a shimmer, not a lot. Christmas is about the only time I use glitter, and I still don't use very much. But I just want to make it kind of glisten, you know, where the snow is. And I'll put a ribbon in the top. So anyway, I think that turned out pretty good. I want to do another kind of the same style, and I want to use these deer. But I think what I want to do for it, instead of doing a circle, I think I just want to make it look like, you know, the page is torn. And they're coming out of the torn page. So I don't know if I will do that on video or if I will do it, you know, off screen and then show you when it's done. So these are holding me over until my zippers get here. I have zippers on order to do some zipper tags. I did do some bases yesterday that I still have to decorate, but this was it. This was all the zippers I had left. So hopefully they'll get here in the next couple of days and I can get to making on more of those. But I hope everybody enjoyed that. Not too bad of a disaster. It could have been better, but that's okay. That's how we figure out if something's gonna work, is to try it and see what happens. So thanks for hanging in there, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have, I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate the love in my shop over the last couple of days, and your support is very much appreciated. So until next time, everybody stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.